Hey everyone, welcome back to Pydjango-Tutorial, your one-stop channel for learning Kubernetes, MLOps, ML, and everything DevOps in the simplest possible way. So today we are going to learn about namespaces and what are namespaces in Kubernetes and why do we need them. Imagine you're running a multiple projects or multiple teams on the same Kubernetes cluster. Let's say you're the platform team that owns and creates the cluster. How do you separate them so they don't step on each other's toes? The answer is namespaces. In this video, we'll learn what namespaces are, why they are important, and how can you use them to organize and secure your Kubernetes cluster and the resources. So very first thing is, what is namespaces or what are namespaces? So namespaces in Kubernetes are like virtual cluster inside the physical cluster. They allow you to divide resources between multiple users and teams. So by default, Kubernetes provides these namespaces. The first one is default, where all your resources go if you don't specify a namespace while creating the resources. Second one is kube system, which is used to organize Kubernetes system components. Third is kube public, used for resources that should be publicly visible. Then we have a kube node lease, which are managed for the node heartbeats and for your nodes that are within your cluster. So think of cluster as a big office building, and namespaces are separate office floors for each department. Everyone can have their own floor without mixing others. Now, why do we need namespace and why should we use namespace? So it provides better isolation. Like I said, let's say you're a platform team within your company and you're responsible for managing and creating a Kubernetes cluster. And in your cluster, different teams can deploy their microservices. Now, for that to happen, you should be able to provide isolation so that different teams and projects can work independently. Why? Because if you're able to do that, you can provide resource quotas and limits. And providing resource quotas and limit is very important to avoid noisy neighbor problem, which is very common in microservices deployment in Kubernetes. So with namespace separation, you can set the limit for CPU usage, memory, and even the number of parts that a microservices can have or the namespaces can have. You can set all these resources and limits at the namespace level. Better RBAC control, that means better access control. You can grant permission per namespace. It's easier to manage hundreds of resources when they are separated by a namespace. Now, how to create one? It's very simple. So all you have to specify is the resource kind and the name of your namespace. And namespace also belongs to the core version v1. So it's very simple. Just specify the v1 version, the kind namespace, and give the name to your namespace. Now, real world usage can be, let's say, if your company has multiple environment, dev namespace for developers, staging namespace for testing, and production namespace or prod namespace for production workloads. This separation ensures no accidental cross deployments and keep workloads safe. Now, let's get to the demo part where we'll create our very first namespace or custom namespace. So let's create a file. I'm gonna name this namespace.yaml. Let's give API version. As I said, it's a v1 kind namespace, metadata, and let's give this name as demo namespace. Now I have my Minikube already running. So if I do Minikube status, actually Minikube, let's fix the typo. Minikube status, so my control plane is running, so I'm good to go. Now if I do kubectl get namespaces, these are the namespaces that I already have. As I told you, default, kube node lease, kube public, and kube system are default namespaces that are provided by Kubernetes itself. Kubernetes dashboard is how I am able to access the Kubernetes dashboard, and ingress nginx was the namespace for the nginx controller add-on. Now, if I do kubectl create -f, let's copy the path and let's create. So my namespace is created. Now, if I do kubectl get namespaces, I should see my namespaces as well. It's ready. It was created 9 seconds ago. Now, how to create resource in my namespace? For that, I'll go in my pod. Now, if you see my pod definition, I haven't specified the namespace anywhere. So if I don't specify the namespace, Kubernetes will create that resource in the default namespace. Now, if I have to, then in the metadata, I'll say namespace and then demo namespace, because that's the name I have given to my namespace. Now let me copy the path. Now, right now, if I check the pods running in my namespace, this is how I can check. So -n is the flag to specify the namespace in the commands. If you don't specify -n in the command, default namespace is considered by default. So let's apply our pod again, kubectl-apply. Now our pod is created. Now if I check pod in my demo namespace, you see that I have volume pod or volume demo that's running in my demo namespace. By the way, if you're preparing for Kubernetes exam or just want a handy reference, I've put together a PDF cheat sheet with all the essential commands and best practices in Kubernetes. It's super concise and easy to use. You can check the link in the description of the video if you're interested. And that way, you're supporting the channel as well. So that's it. That's all about namespaces in Kubernetes. Namespaces can be a simple but powerful way to organize and isolate and secure your workloads inside the single cluster. So if you like this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like the video, and check out the full Kubernetes playlist for more tutorials. Till then, thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next.